I know this is our first visit.
Oh, this is your first visit?
To this place, yeah.
Cool. So yeah, what brings you here? What brings you to the council house? You're just traveling through and you need a place to spend the night. Well, we've got the perfect place for you then. Yeah. So these outer benches are actually going to be for you if you need to spend the night here. You can spend up to 3 nights and it's going to be free and you're going to be fed those 3 nights.
Oh, really?
So it's a pretty good deal out here. I hope you like corned beans and squash because you're going to be eating a whole lot of it. But aside from that, you are also going to have a lot of meetings and ceremonies that go on in here. So these benches are going to be more for that. With the chief up at the highest bench over there and his advisor sitting next to him. Then from there on, you'd have warriors or ball game celebrities at these lower benches as well.
Well, what time does that go on?
It should be going on right now. Esteban was telling me that he's going to come in here and make this fire, but I don't know where this fire is, so here I am waiting. But yeah, so they would have typically had meetings daily in here. I haven't seen the chief today, so maybe he's having some meetings in his own house today. But aside from that, as soon as the sun goes down, you're also going to have Appalachia in here, especially for the stomp dances in the evening that are going to be going on, the drum circles, storytelling, a lot of different things. So they're going to be in here, and they're going to be fueled by the black drink, which is made from the Yopon holly here, which is a native plant here. So they're going to be making that tea, and it's going to be high in caffeine, so it's going to fuel them through the night. So I hope you're heavy sleepers. Because it is gonna get pretty rowdy in here. So I hope you guys maybe want to join in on some of the festivities. Have some of that black tea.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, maybe we'll come back.
So what is this?
This is what a typical home would have been like for a family living here. Families on average would have had 8 to 10 children. And their dogs would have been around that size because they were used for protecting the home and hunting as well. Hello, sweetie. Yeah. Hi there. This is not for you.
They stay pretty comfortable.
This would not be good. You would not feel good after eating this basket, puppy dog. So those families on average had about 8 to 10 children. We counted. It's not like we had a lot of options.
Patty. 8 to 10 children?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, it was kind of seen as like, well, the thing is, of course, you have to keep in mind the infant mortality rate was a very real thing back then. But also, they used the children mostly for a lot of the work that was being done around here. Daughters were actually highly valued simply because they were used to hopefully bring income, sort of daughters-in-law especially, if their son's married, they bring the wives in, the wives would bring wealth with them. And a lot of the daughters who did marry outside of the family, they were good at sort of making alliances with different families. And they had a little bit more choice in who they married because there were fewer women as opposed to men. So they could be a little bit more picky about who they were going to marry.
Yeah, I'm the Sergeant Arms here. My job's to guard the armory. And this flag here is the Cross of Burgundy. It's marked the Cross of St. Andrew. And if you wonder what those platforms, raised platforms are for, those are for the soldiers, the Spanish soldiers to stand up and shoot their muskets out the firing ports.
Oh, yeah.
That's what these are for. Those are firing ports, and those platforms are firing platforms.
Okay.
I'm going to show you this side. This side is the storage area. We're storing enough food and supplies last for 90 days going into siege. And this room is the most important room of the fort. This is the armory where the weapons are stored. And above me is Santa Barbara. Hate to say it, we're black powder and sun death.
Artillery, black powder and sun death.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, it's just the skull that makes me talk a little funny. It's cold weather. I know it's a little stuffed up. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing a helmet, it's because I have because I'm the sergeant arms. I have the better equipment, and it's a very important job to guard the armory where the weapons are stored. Because we don't want to make off with the weapons.
Is that heavy? Is your helmet very heavy?
Not very heavy.
Not real big.
What else is in here?
Halberds, pikes. The store in the armory would be weapons. Would be pikes, halberds, muskets, swords. And my halberd and swords are in here. My halberd and swords in here, behind the store. My halberd's actually bigger than this. This is just a training halberd. What I train the recruits how to use.
What's back here?
That's the storage area, dry goods storage. This is where we store the food. This is where we store the food. This is where we store all the food. And we'll also store pots, pans, cooking utensils, firewood and hay for the livestock, and and canvas for tents. Soldiers will eat. This is called the mess hall area. Mess hall table. This is where the soldiers eat. And drink wine, play games of cards, dice.
Our founder of our order, he used to patron saint of animals. Saint Francis of Assisi.
Yeah. That's why this whole place is pet friendly mostly, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
That's good. So.
I'm Fireman Well, and I'm one of the Franciscans here. Do you folks have any questions for me?
Can you tell us a little bit about the buildings?
Certainly. So this building back here is our kitchen, and this is the only indoor kitchen in the entire mission. And we friars, since we're such important people here, we have 2 Appalachian women who do our cooking for us. Now that building you just walked through, this rather large one, is the friary, and this is where we friars live and where we work. So this is where we do our records keeping and our work with herbs, and where we speak with the people who come, those who come to us asking for help. Because as you can imagine, I mean, the church is a little, it's a little more intimate and a little more private than the church, which is where we hold the Sunday Mass, and it's also where we meet for the Mass on feast days. I should mention the daily Mass takes place here in the friary, in that chapel, that big room, along with choir practice.
Kitchens.
I'm not a real fire, so that would be a real blessing.
If you come back here in October, we'll have a deacon here to bless her. Yeah, our blessing the animal thing. We have free admission.
Yeah.
We have a deacon here over in that church,